What's up YouTube? Today we'll compare Michael Jordan market versus Messi market, but before we go into that I will ask you the same thing I ask in all my videos. If you can leave a like, thank you so much for that. At the end of the day is the best way to show support. If you are a new viewer, also consider to subscribe. Putting that out of the way, let's go into the video because that's the reason you are watching this. Have fun! So guys, more than 1 year ago I made a video and ended up comparing NBA legends versus soccer legendary players. One of the comparisons, for example, was Bill Russell versus Roy and Cruyff, and the one that you guys ended up enjoying the most was Michael Jordan versus Lionel Messi. Ended up going with 86 Fleer and Messi 7 1Bs. If you are not aware, these are the main rookies for both players. Today I want to make an update on that video to see if things end up changing a lot or not. Feel free to check that video on YouTube. Pause this one and check the other because I will give a lot of spoilers for what I said in that video 1 year ago, actually more than 1 year ago. And at the time I said basically that I thought the soccer card market was quite undervalued when we compare with the NBA market, especially the Messi market versus the Michael Jordan one. I understand demand is quite different, and keep one thing in mind, this is just a fun exercise, feel free to disagree. And at the time a PSA 10 for the 86 Fleer was selling around 369k. The PSA 10 for Messi 7 on Bs was selling around 217k. So this is quite crazy to see. Why? Because the Messi 7 on Bs PSA 10 total was 20 total at the time. We'll see how the pops end up changing 1 year, actually like I said more than 1 year. The 86 Fleer was 320 copies. So in terms of condition rarity, it's quite evident that the Messi is a much more difficult card to find in a PSA 10. The Jordan PSA 10 total, again just talking about PSA 10s, was 16 times bigger than Messi, and the Jordan card was selling for more than the Messi one. I also said we have to understand demand is quite different. This is probably the most famous card in the entire hobby, talking about collectible cards. I guess you can make an argument for Mickey Mantle, etc. But for sure this is a top 3, top 5 type of card. So we have to have that in consideration. The Messi 7 on Bs does not have that status yet. Maybe in the future, who knows? For now that's not the case. I also said if both had the same demand, Messi should be selling for $5.9 million. You can tell me, Andre, that's crazy. Don't you think that makes almost zero sense? I agree with you, by the way. This is just assuming the Michael Jordan sale is correctly priced. By the way, that's a big if, and the demand ended up being the same for both players. That will make the Messi card increase quite a lot in value. I also ended up making a table where you can find where you believe Messi should be selling. So when I recorded the video, the Michael Jordan was selling for 21.8x, in this case more expensive, comparing the supply, and again, like I said, for me this makes no sense, but that was the reality at the time. Maybe you believe, you know what, 21x is a lot, maybe 10x makes much more sense. If that was the case, the Messi card should be selling for let's say $500,000. All of that said, now let's compare with prices nowadays, see if things end up changing or not. At the time, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's important to pass this message, I believe that the soccer card market was actually quite undervalued, specific the Messi market versus the Jordan one. So let's see it now. So updated. You can see that nowadays a PSA 10 for the 86 Fleer sells around 184k. This is a big drop. I'm not that surprised. I mean, this pop is just too high. Fun fact about both cards, there is 1 copy less in both pop reports. So Messi was 20 copies, right now is 19, and Michael Jordan was 320, right now is 319. What's the reason for that? I have no idea. I assume maybe PSA found a overgraded copy, maybe a fake. this is just speculation, we do not know for sure. What's quite crazy is pops end up not actually going up. They are actually down one card, but let's say they are the same. Of course, one copy less on the Messi market is quite big, because instead of a 16 times bigger pop for Jordan, right now is 17 times bigger than Messi. I end up putting numbers, approximated type of numbers, to make the video a little bit easier to watch. So how much is Messi selling right now in a PSA 10? 312k. The last sale I believe was 6 months ago. I suspect if one hits the market right now at least around 200, 300, I expect that card to still sold for that. So I will be shocked if it will be lower than the Jordan 1, especially because Messi also ended up winning the World Cup, especially because I also believe there is more collectors in the soccer card market than we ended up seeing 2 years ago, 1 year ago. So if both had the same demand, right now Messi should be $3.1 million. Wait, Andre, what's going on? You said 5.9 million. The reality is we go with the sale for Jordan in a PSA 10, and right now is quite lower. So when we make a new comparison, even Messi valuation suffers a bit, since the Jordan camp is quite more real right now than it was 1 year ago. You can see that the premium right now for Jordan is 10x versus 21.8x that was more than 1 year ago. If the same premium end up being applied right now, Messi should be selling for 143k. I don't think that's the case. I think around 10x, 9x, 11x. Difficult to say. We need to see another Messi to hit the market. Liquidity is always something difficult to predict when it comes to cars, since we are talking about a very speculative asset. But I thought it was fun to share this with you, my friends, that I don't want to predict these things, but at the time I was quite bullish on the soccer card markets, specific on the Messi 7 on Bis PSA 10, a card that most likely I will never acquire, but I think is such an important card for our market that can actually, a strong sale on the Messi 7 on Bis can impact lower grades, can impact even other legendary players in the soccer card market. Right now this seems quite more realistic. At the time, I hate to say it, but I was quite spot on this prediction that the Jordan card was overvalued versus, or the Messi card was really undervalued versus the Jordan 1, and we are seeing that right now. I don't want to make this type of predictions, but the reality is when a card is so much scarcer than the other, I expect this to get even worse for the Michael Jordan. If the premium right now is 10x, I would not be shocked if one day becomes 6x, 5x. When rarity is so strong for one versus the other, even if one card is quite more popular, that does not mean a lot, since we do not need a lot of demand to make prices to go insane. So guys, quick pause on the video. Hope you are enjoying this comparison. Like I said, it's just a fun exercise. At the end of the day, nothing is apple to apples or orange to orange. We have to put in perspective a lot of stuff, and I tried my best to do it on this video. Now, one thing, if you love this content related with the financial side of the market, you probably love my Patreon. I put exclusive content there every week. I'm talking about a Q&A on Wednesday, so if you have questions, that will be the best place. And the extra audio / podcast on Saturday. An insane amount of content, being quite honest with you. I'm talking about more than 80 exclusive videos plus a crazy amount of extra audios. If you join the Patreon right now, I honestly don't know, but I assume you have content for the next 1 month, 2 months, since I have so many videos there. Link will be below the video. You can see even on the screen an example of a Q&A I did quite recently there, but link will be below the video / description, so check the Patreon out. Let's say Patreon is something that you are not interested in, paying $10 could be a lot of money to you. If that's the case, totally fine with that, of course. One thing that is free is actually my Discord server. We are more than 900 members and we are growing quite fast. So link will also be below the video. Amazing place to learn about the soccer card market, to share your collection, to interact with other collectors. Putting that out of the way, let's continue with this video. Now, what I want to share with you is that the Messi pop is 5.9% the Jordan 1. This is very basic math, but I believe is important again to put in perspective that think how crazy this card is. This is also probably, and I think most of people watching this video agree with me, top 3, but even maybe the most important card we have in our market, and is 5.9% of the pop of Michael Jordan. So the soccer card market have a lot of potential. I will not repeat my arguments over and over, since this channel is about that, to be honest, me explaining why I believe so much in the soccer card market. Again, the international potential, etc. But even pops, I mean, rarity, condition rarity in a lot of these cards is quite insane when you put in perspective with other markets. And sometimes, I'm criticizing myself right now, we tend to look at the pop report and we see, oh, the pop is 200 copies and is a top player. Again, I like to use Zidane. Zidane foot 92 is 200, is not 200, is 100 copies, a bit more actually. And sometimes we debate on Discord, etc. Oh, the pop is a bit too high. I mean, we are talking about a top 5, top 10 type of player in our market. Compare that even with TCGs, even with cards that are iconic in other TCGs like Pikachu base set first edition, Blastoise base set first edition, and compare the pops and we will understand how amazing our market is if the demand keeps increasing over time. I understand that could be a big if. I'm very bullish, as you guys know, but yeah, fantastic stuff. Now, cards are a speculative asset, like I say all the time on this channel. That being said, putting things in perspective is so important, and this is a good example of that. So the two main rookies for Michael Jordan is the 86 Fleer and the 86 Fleer sticker. For Messi, the most important rookies, and I think most people tend to agree, is the Mega Crack 7 on Bees and the ST sticker. The Mega Crack 7 on Bees and the ST sticker together make a pop over 700. Very low putting in. This is just PSA totals. But if you want to put BGS, SEC, things get even worse for the Michael Jordan, as you can assume. So Michael Jordan bought 86 Fleer and the sticker, pop total is 42k. This means what? This means that the Messi pop is 1.82% of the Michael Jordan 1. Then you can tell me, Andre, but that's not fair because Messi have more rookies. I got you, you are correct on that. So let's compare that. So you can see that I would say main rookies, there is actually more releases for Michael Jordan, but I thought it wasn't fair to put everything. I think these 4 cards are quite popular in the Michael Jordan market. You are talking about 36k copies. For Lionel Messi, we are talking about 52.2k. If you put all the 7 rookies plus the variations, everything is already in this number. This means what? This means that Messi is 11% of the Michael Jordan pop. Now, and I think this is also interesting to put in perspective, is compare with Maradona and Ronaldo. I understand that you may disagree that, oh, but these guys are not Michael Jordan level. The Messi comparison makes much more sense. By the way, I also agree with that. 32k again for Michael Jordan. Now let's compare with all the rookies for Maradona. By the way, you can even make an argument that there is only one rookie for Maradona. I tend to disagree with that, but I think that's a very fair take also. And the reality is quite crazy. So Maradona pop is 0.8% of the Michael Jordan 1. Cristiano Ronaldo is 1.1%. And in this case, it's not like the Messi that ended up going with 2 rookies. No, there is no more rookies for Cristiano Ronaldo. That's it. There is no more rookies for Maradona. Again, I'm actually being a bit... you can make an argument that I should just put the disc for Maradona. And if that's the case, things will get even crazier. So, not sure if you guys enjoyed this video or not. I love this type of stuff, as you guys know. Putting things in perspective, trying to understand what we can expect of the soccer card market in the next couple of years, since in my perspective, demand will increase quite a lot. Our potential is amazing. We are seeing the international scene exploding, and yeah, for me, this is actually something that I enjoy to do. If you also enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.